Hey guys, good morning. I hope you're doing well and I hope you have a lovely day. Okay. I think this throw is contemplative. I think you need to think about it. And I'm going to put that out there because no matter what it is that you're doing, whether it's a relationship you're trying to start or save or win over, right? Whether it's a career, whether it's a job move, whether it's whatever it is, right? The question to ask here is, I don't see any heart and soul in this reading. I really don't. Even though the Sun card is there, we come in with the 6 of coins, the Sun card crossed by the 8 of coins, and the outbound card is the 7 of swords. The combination, I have to hit this from a storyline because it's kind of blaring at me. I don't feel there's heart and soul in here, even though the Sun card is in here. I think, can it get there? Yes. Do I think it's here now? No. What I think you're doing or someone is doing is, I think you're scrambling. So my question is, do you really love it? Or are you fearful of losing it? Whatever it is to you, because I think there's that squandering feeling, not squandering, the scurrying feeling, right? When that shitty job that you've got and you hate, you can't stand it, blah, 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 it takes you till noon to just adjust that you actually have to be there for the rest of the day. And you hear at lunchtime that they're going to be handing out pink slips that day. All of a sudden, that job that you absolutely hate, you're scurrying now to save it. Just because you're afraid, that sends the fear of whatever through you, right? It's that kind of feeling that I'm getting from here. So I want to ask you, if your heart and soul is not in this, you won't move a mountain for it. So there's a few things that maybe you want to ask yourself here, whatever it is, because that Sun card is a great card. When you are in unity with yourself, that 6 of coins and the Sun card both are cards that ask you to be whole, to be to have intention where you're going, and to know what it's going to take to get there, right? It's like going to college and getting out of school and realizing, okay, well, I applied for this position, I got the job, but why didn't I get the corner office? It didn't sound like this in the brochure. I was supposed to get the corner office and no one told me I actually had to work really hard for it, right? So my question is, and I know that we all know this, but I'm trying to show you a feel of what this is for, right? If you will not move a mountain for something, if your heart and soul is not in it, you will not put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. You will not move a mountain for it. You'll just be spinning your wheels. That 7 of swords on the outbound can be the driving force behind what gets you going. Even though it's the outbound card, it can be that I'm so pissed off about what I feel my life has been fated to me that I am going to use this frustration and this, anger and this aggression or whatever to prove it wrong, to plow through something. And I think that's great energy. That's great constructive energy to do things, right? People in the NFL do that. People that are, people that have a lot of, they get themselves in careers that this energy is dispersed widely, right? Or they're great athletes, things, that can use this energy in a positive way. But with the 7 of swords, I think there's an air of secrecy through here. And by that, I mean, you may not just be telling anyone what you're doing because and I don't think this is such a bad idea. You know what I mean? Because when we're trying to do something and we're not firmly planted on the ground, the last thing we need is a yah-yah, telling us that no, you can't, 1,000 ways to Tuesday why you can't do it. And sometimes that's what starts this spiral way back when we end up in a career we hate and we're married to someone that we don't even know, or we do things that aren't authentic to us. So my suggestion to you would be, don't try to impress anyone here. You need to really I would ask yourself what your planning process is, what you hope to accomplish on the outbound, right? A lot of times I'm using the corner office because I think we can all relate to something like that, right? The question is, you'll get the corner office, but only if you're willing to put the blood, sweat, and tears in, if you absolutely love it. And I think one of our readings came up the other day about the store owner. It's great to put that open sign out in front of your boutique, but the property owner or the owner of the store, do you want to put that every morning till 3 a.m. working away behind the scenes into it? Because if you don't, and you don't love what you're doing, and you're not passionate about it, you're not going to be happy. That 8 of coins in here is a card of maturity. It's a card of getting it together. It's also one of the millionaire cards, right? So the success will come here. The passion will come here. All of that has to come before, though. That's not the winning lotto ticket. That's the I've worked my butt off for this because it was worth working my butt off for this. I absolutely enjoy this. I couldn't imagine getting up another day and not doing this. That's a great way to look at this reading because there's financial success in here. There's joy in here. There's happy relationships in here. There's all of that in here, but you've got to ask yourself the question of why are you doing this? And if your answer is because I really, really, truly love this, I truly enjoy it, it's what I want to do, I'm willing to put the work into it, I know where I'm going, I know how I'm getting there, that's a great reading. This is phenomenal. But I worry that you're doing this out of fear and you're going to end up in a place that is not any more joyful than where you're at now. So I put all this out here. You don't have to answer this reading. Just take it in honestly and be honest with yourself, because a lot of blood, sweat, and tears can go into this. You know what I mean? It's also a life that's balanced. If it's something that you're really enjoying, that's all I ask, is that you ask yourself if this is a joy-filled reading for you, or if it's one that you're not thrilled about. You know what I mean? The example would be too, I'm going to put this out there. I remember a time where I had to sell my beautiful SUV, right? I really, really loved this SUV, as sad as that sounds, but I had to sell it because one, I needed the money in all honesty, but I loved it is the point that I'm trying to get with this story. But I had to downsize to something that I really didn't love, but I knew that I had to do it to get ahead of where I was trying to go. Right? So those are the times where you're like, I'm going to put the work into this. I'm going to let go of something. I'm going to go about this in a way that I've got to go about it to move a mountain for what I need. And those are the tough questions that you've got to ask. And yes, I've done the cable thing in the past too, which was my example from the other day. I went down to bare bones, and that was only because I needed internet. So sometimes you've got to, I know people too that have sold their wedding rings and sold their houses and sold their cars to move mountains for things that they want. You need to ask yourself, the only reason I'm pointing out these things is because these are the questions sometimes we've got to ask ourselves to really take a checkpoint of how passionate we really are about something. You know what I mean? And if you would jump through hoops like that and make sacrifices for the things that you enjoy and the people that you enjoy and the things that you want, absolutely, this is a phenomenal reading. If not, my fear is that you'll end up here again. You know what I mean? But this is a great read. It's a positive read. It's a very fruitful read. Like I say, that 8 of coins is a fortune card. It's one of the fortune cards in playing cards. So, and the sun card, you really can't go wrong with that unless you're fighting the fight within, because the duality of that is, I'm going to jump off this cliff. Woohoo! Right? And wait, let's just think about this and make sure that there's actually land down there. Those are the two sides of yourself in that card. You know what I mean? It's joy and happiness, but yes, I'm going to do this. And I've got a plan in place. And yes, I did check first. There is ground down there. Or there's water in the pool, or there's anything like that. So there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. I feel really wonky energy. And by that, I mean, embrace this. Ask yourself the tough questions. Give yourself the downtime to actually answer them and hear the answers that you give back to yourself. Because this is a powerful move. This can change your life, this reading. But just make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons and you're not doing it out of fear. Okay, so there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. Have a lovely day. If you need a private reading, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to do anything for you. Okay, thank you so much.